Shabbat Shalom Mishpacha. This is Rabbi Simon, the Kohen speaking, and we are going to be doing a little bit of a study and a little bit of the outlook on the environment to understand our present day and to understand how to benefit, how to prosper, how to grow, and how to make our families' lives better. So before we do, let's do our petition, our prayer before God. Baruch Hashem. Thank you, Abba, that you have brought us through this week safely and securely, that you have protected us as we go along the way, and you have given us food to eat, a roof for shelter, and clothes to wear. And we thank you, we bless your holy name. We thank you that you continue to guard us, you continue to watch over us, and you continue to direct us and lead us to the right path so that we may succeed, we may prosper, and we may grow. And also I petition for the state of Israel, for the people, even for the people of Palestine, those people that are maybe not involved in fighting, and those people that want to live in peace, that I pray for peace for both, especially pray for the protection of the people of Israel, and pray for our restoration of our heritage, our Torah, and the temple as it was in the ancient days, as you have promised us that you will restore us in the future, and you will gather back the tribes. Petition and pray for all the tribes in the diaspora, and for a turning back to your ways, and to live in right order, to promote and to benefit and to bless your name. Baruch Hashem, may your name be raised forever and ever. Amen ve amen. Excuse me. So, starting with the present, let's look at the environment and economy. And in America, as you know, America is kind of going through different cycles. Right now, we are in the cycle of electing a new speaker in the House. Also, we are looking for the next president. So, elections are going to start gearing up now. It's coming towards the end of the year, being that it's October, almost coming to the end. And I know that coming, November, December, January, February, we're going to be gearing into the new election for the new president. So I guess it's time that, America has a new man to make America not only great, but also a righteous nation. So we, as I have, in terms of economy, interest rates have peaked in America, and I'll probably say in the UK as well, Europe almost as well, because they are kind of following our suit. Also, our interest rates are right now in the mortgage side, the mortgage loan side, are the highest they have ever been since 20 years. They've almost topped to 7% plus. And we are probably not going to look for decreases in interest rates this year, but we are looking for a declining interest rates next year. Now, this war in the Middle East doesn't help, because it puts the gas prices up, petrol prices are going to go higher, and therefore everything else will get affected negatively down the chain, because trucks have to carry the goods, trains, trucks, planes. So imagine those things are using fuel, and if fuel is going to cost higher, then it pushes inflation higher. So this has a negative effect on the economy. So as long as there's there's some kind of subsidation of the war and some kind of peace occurs, then things will start to smooth out. The two main countries right now at war, Israel, against Hamas, and then you got Russia against Ukraine. So those things are kind of going on. Now, I wrote about these things many years ago. Books are available on Amazon Press. If you want to read about it, you want to understand what's going on, and you want to understand where we are going with this, then I encourage you to just go buy the books. They are listed on the website, forever-israel.com. You can see the books are listed, and they'll take you to the link will take you to Amazon, where you can purchase, or Lulu Press. On the on the front of Israel versus, I don't think it's Israel versus Palestine. I think it's more Israel versus the Hamas and the Hezbollah, and of course now the Houthis from Yemen. Now know that the Houthis in Yemen are a people that are supported by Iran. Remember I told you that Iran had its involvement. Just because it didn't find evidence, evidence of sources, and everybody was kind of reporting, oh, there's no evidence of Iran, there's no evidence, and I said to you that yes, Iran is involved. Don't listen to their bull sugar. They give you a lot of bull sugar, and it's all it is bull sugar. It's nothing in there. It's not true. Iran has always been involved, and Iran has its hands for both supporting Hamas and for Hezbollah and for the Houthis. I believe the American insiders, i.e. the people who are conducting this war effort or fighting alongside Israel to help them, they already know this, but they don't want to leak it to the public. And it'll probably come out sooner or later. But here's the thing. I said in my books many years ago that America will always stand strong with Israel, and so will the United Kingdom. And guess which two nations came first in the war to help Israel? America and United Kingdom. In fact, even from day 2 of the war in Israel, Delta Force, SAS, the likes, they were already on the ground. Think about it. So, the secret, or I should say the special military forces, they're already there. So what does that tell you? So we will always be, Americans will always support Israel. Americans and in the United Kingdom people as well, they will always support Israel. And it's right to do so. Nothing wrong with that. Now, whenever things start, now the question they ask is, well, when will it stop or what will happen? Is things have got to get worse before they get better. When you have a problem, it usually gets worse before it gets better. So likewise, things in the Middle East will get worse before they get better. And I can tell you that, take it as an opinion, take it as something else, that things will get worse in the Middle East before they get better. We may or we may not hit $100 a barrel. I think it's likely that we will hit $100 a barrel. Okay, oil will go higher before it drops back down. But it's also likely that this fighting that is going on will get worse before it gets better. And what's going to happen is, Israel alongside America and other, nations are doing their thing over there. And then what will happen, when we go into the war a few weeks or so on, and then a few weeks, few months, then what will happen is they will say, oh, okay, let's do a truce, let's do a peace. And eventually it will have to come down to a peace solution on the table between the two parties, so that both Palestinians and Israelis can live in coexist in some kind of peace agreement. That's what will eventually happen. Now, obviously, you might think that the similar thing can happen in Russia and Ukraine, but in Russia and Ukraine's case, that is not an immediate solution. Or when I say immediate solution, not a solution, it is a solution, but it's not an immediate thing to happen. In case of Israel versus Hamas, it can happen. It can happen after 2 weeks. It can happen after 6 weeks. It can happen, okay? But in the case of Russia and Ukraine, it's not going to happen because it is in the interest, let me be very honest and precise, it is in the interest of America. Forget about what others think. We don't care what others think. It is the interest of America for this war to continue. And I leave it at that, okay? I think that's a fair statement to make. It is in the interest of America to continue this war, and when will it stop? When it's no longer in the interest of America to continue the war, aka Afghanistan, okay? Now that may be when the new president comes in, that may be when the new president from the Republican Party comes in, and the favorite right now, and I short of endorsing Mr. Trump, I've got nothing against him. Mr. Trump is a favorite to come, okay? And I don't think we have a better candidate yet. Maybe somebody else might appear to be better, but I believe from what I have seen in America, that Mr. Trump will likely make the right president. If you want peace between Russia and Ukraine, even Israel and Hamas, I think that he is the right person for the job. Okay, that's where I kind of see, and we'll see what happens down the road. We'll know when that who becomes a president. It's definitely not going to be the Democrats. Put it this way, I'm really not I'm not a pro Democrat or a pro Republican person. I'm neutral. It doesn't matter to me who comes into power, but whoever comes into power must be good for America and its people. That's what's important. That president must be good for both people. So, to me, as an analysis of what I've seen so far, and you can probably agree with me or disagree, that the Democrats have created more war. They have become more war-mongering than peace-mongering. They have not pushed peace. They have pushed war. They were directly affecting the Ukraine war, and likely vice versa, other things that are happening around us. So, and I always say this, if you want peace, then lean for peace more. Talk about peace, don't talk about war. But what we find is that politicians, they're talking about war. They're not talking about peace, mostly are talking about war, because war generates dollars. War can give you money for your industry, weapon industry, fighter jet industry, and warship industry. So it brings money in. So we got to understand that peace doesn't sell, because peace doesn't give you nothing in the terms of, it's good all around. Peace is good, but peace doesn't bring in the dollars. It can, if there was peace on the planet, everything was hunky-dory, then people will be traveling to America, traveling to Europe, traveling to Middle East, etc., generate income, generate wealth like that through tourism and other things. And when you get tourists coming in, of course, they buy items, they live in hotels, they do purchases and stuff, and that generates income. So peace can bring a lot of income as well. But I think that there are certain elite people in the world, or in America, I should say, and maybe in Europe as well, there are elite people there that prefer to keep things rolling towards, what's happening now. They prefer that because there's money in that, for them at least. For them, there is money in that. Okay, so that's where we are with that. Now, coming forward to the lecture part, I want to remind you a number of things. But before I remind you, our lecture, our Parsha, Torah portion, is about Abraham, our forefather. It's lech, lacha. Interestingly, lech, lacha is Abraham and his progeny. We are Abraham's progeny. Chapter 12 of the book of Genesis, God comes to Abraham and he says to Abraham, this is I'm reading this from the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls. Also, before that, it was known as the Abrahamic Faith Bible. It's widely available in Amazon and Lulu Press. If you want to look at it, I've got a title there. Before chapter 12, it says, Abraham is asked to make a decision. We must make a decision for success with God and for life. Chapter 12. Now, Yahoshua had said to Abram, get out of your country, from your native country, and from your Abba's house, to a land that I will show you. And I will make you a strong and a mighty nation, and I will make you a benefit to others, and make your name great. And you shall be an increase to all who embrace you. I will bless those who come to bless you, and I will curse him who despises you and sees you as worthless. And in you all the mishpachat, all the families of the earth shall be engrafted. So Abram departed as Yahoshua had spoken to him, and Lot went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abraham took Sarah his wife, or Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, who was his nephew, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people whom they had acquired in Haran, and they departed to go to the land of Canaan. So they came to the land of Canaan. So this story is very simple. It's a story of obedience. It's a story of leaving a family. It's a story of leaving a country. It's a story of believing in God. Okay? It's a story about believing in God. That's very important that I point this out, because a lot of people miss the point. Abraham didn't just leave his family and his country because he just decided, he had a dream, and the dream said you got to go. It wasn't a dream. It says God came to him, and God told him to get out of your country. Basically saying that he came to him in a vision. And he said, I will make you strong. So what did Abraham have to do? Remember, for your success, and I've said this many times before, what do you have to do to be successful? You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. What do you want in life? So Abraham was facing a decision. Should I stay in Haran? Should I leave Haran and go to this country called Canaan, which is presently known as Israel? Because it wasn't called Israel back then. So should he go to Canaan, or should he stay in Haran? Haran, by the way, is in Turkey, not in Iraq as most people think. So Abraham's family and ancestors came from India. They were from the Brahmins. The Brahmins, the priestly tribe that you know in India, that's where Abraham's family came from. So Abraham is directly related to Brahman. Okay? So that's why the priesthood came out of Abraham's children for the 12 tribes. So looking forward to each individual, I ask people, when people come meet me, when I meet individuals and say, I like to earn more money, I like to be successful, I like to do this, that, and I usually ask one question to the people. I say, how much would you like to earn a month? And then they pause and they're not sure. Most people, they have to think about that question, and they're not really sure what they want to earn a month. So I asked them, what about annually? How much would you like to earn a year? And some people may answer it straight away and say, well, I like to earn, some might say I like to earn $100,000 a year, and some might say I like to earn more than, I like to earn lots of money. Well, that's not an answer, lots of money. Or some might say, I like to earn $200,000. Some might say, I like to earn $300,000 or $500,000. Very few people say to me they like to earn $500,000 a year. But if I bring it down to the monthly cycle, then they are not sure, because they don't know what that equates to. Maybe they haven't calculated. If you said you wanted to earn, let's say you wanted to earn $200,000 annually, and they haven't calculated, if they haven't broken it down to what that equates to per month. So, if you break down 200,000 by 12, it's 16,666, and 16,666 is a good number, great number. And because they haven't, so let's just round it up to 17,000, and before taxes. So before taxes about 17,000, and let's just call it, after taxes, let's just say that you are making 12,000 a month, okay, roughly 12,000 a month. Well, how about if we wanted to earn, how about if I said to you that you can make $15,000 a month, or if I told you that you can make $30,000 a month? How about if I told you that? If I told you that, then you would be shocked. You'd be like, wow, I didn't think about that. Because if I just told you 12 or 13,000 is 200, what if you make twice that? That means you're on 400,000 almost, right? $400,000 annually, which equates to about, say, 25,000 monthly. So think of your salary or the decision you want to earn, think of it in monthly terms. Don't think of it in yearly terms. A year is too long. Bring it down to a month. So you hone in on it and you say, okay, if I ask you, what is your decision? on how much you want to earn a month. Then you should immediately say, okay, I like to make $30,000 a month. Boom, you're there. That means you're earning over $400,000 annually. Or if you said, I like to earn $50,000 or $60,000 a month. Well, if you're on $60,000 a month, that means that means you have to make $1 million before taxes to make $60,000 a month. Boom, you're there. Okay, so that's how you should easily work it out. So you have to make a decision. You must make a decision, like Abraham made a decision with God and said, "Hey, God, you come to me. Wonderful. Now, what do you want me to do?" And God said, "Get out of your country. Lech, lacha, Abram." And God said, "Okay." Abraham said, "Okay, I'll go. But what about my dad? What about my wife and other things are going on?" And God said, "Just go. Take them with you." So Abraham left. Abraham was a type of his father was a high priest to having some kind of a temple with the statues there, and Abraham was the successor to his father. So by Abraham leaving, he would no longer be a successor. His father would not be happy about that. Like if your father was a mechanic, if your father owned a garage, and he wanted you to also become a mechanic and for you to take over after he retires. So if you said, "No, Dad, I don't want to be a mechanic, I want to do something else," well, your dad won't be very happy with you. Similarly, Abraham's father wasn't very happy. When Terach, his father, when Terach was told that, "I want to leave this country, I want to go abroad," and his Terach was like, "Why?" And Abraham was like, "Well, God told me to." And then Terach said, "Well, the gods that we worship are in the temple." He said, "Well, I don't believe in those temple statues. I believe in the God that came to me in my vision. He's a living God." So Abraham was, when he was having a conversation with his dad, he had to explain to him that I serve a living God. "I'm sorry, Dad. I know that you worship these handmade statues and you believe that they have some kind of power, and maybe they do have some kind of power and authority on this earth. But for me, I would rather worship the living God because I believe He is more powerful." You could put it like that. He said, "I believe He's more powerful, and I believe that what I'm seeing in the vision with Him is that He is directing me to leave this country, so I think I must do that in order for me to progress. Because sometimes in order to progress, not sometimes, all the time, in order to progress, you have to leave your home or leave. Let's say that you were doing a job and earning $100,000. Okay, you were earning $100,000 and you had to progress. But you would not give up your job. But you wanted to earn $200,000 or $300,000. But you would not leave your job. You're like, "Well, if I leave my $100,000 job, I don't know if I'm going to get $200,000 or $300,000, so I won't take that risk." So because you're not willing to take the risk, how can you earn $300,000? How can you earn $200,000 if you're not willing to take the risk? So there are times when, if not so much you left the job, but what if they fired you? What if they said, "Oh, we are firing you"? And you might be very upset, very sad, but you already made a decision. You said, "I want to earn $200,000. That's my decision. I'm going to live on that." So you being fired is a consequence of your decision. Means you have to leave the $100,000 to move into the $200,000 job, because your present employer is not going to give you 100% raise. You might be lucky. You might be lucky to make a 10% raise, or maybe 5%. If you're lucky, make 5% raise. Very lucky, maybe you make 10%. But they're not going to give you 100% raise. They're not going to say, "Oh, your salary is 100, now we're going to give you 200. They're not going to do that. So in order to do that, you have to move jobs. That means one has to go and the next has to come. Means that you could either look for a job directly while you're employed and you get your $200,000 job. Then that's okay as well. You can do that. And most people do. Or you can move careers, and most people do that too. So either way, my point is, first, what's the first thing? What did Abraham have to do? He had to make a decision. What do you have to do? You have to make a decision. How much? You have to ask yourself this question: how much do I want to earn a month? And when you decide that figure, whether it be 10,000, whether it be 20,000, whether it be 30,000 or more, then you are in a position to now work on it. And what did I tell you? What did I tell you? In the last few lectures I've been teaching, you must write down what you want 30 times. And I said, okay, if you can't do it 30 times, do it 10 times. I brought it down to 10. Do 10 times writing before you sleep, and when you wake up, that whatever your desire is, your decision, meaning what your decision is. If your decision is to earn $30,000 a month, then you write down on a piece of paper with a pen, simple notepad, nothing special about it. Doesn't have to have your name, or doesn't have to be cost $50. It could be a $2 notepad that you buy from whatever store out there in America or in the UK. Something you picked up in Tesco, or maybe something you picked up in Walmart, and you start writing on it. Come on, how hard is that? You got a decision that you made. You want to earn $30,000 a month, or maybe more. Now what you gonna write down? You're gonna write down in two ways. You can write down, I am earning $30,000 a month, or I give you even a better way. My monthly income is $30,000. Full stop. My monthly income is $30,000. Full stop. Second way, okay? Or the third way, I am receiving $30,000 monthly income. I am receiving $30,000 monthly income. So there's at least three ways to write that statement. Each way has its own merit, but you got to stick to it. If you decide to write I am receiving, fine. I get, fine. I have, fine. Or the other way, like I explained to you, is my income is then the amount you want per month. Full stop. Okay? And you write that. I said you write it 30 times every night. And if you said to me, and if you turned around and said to me, Rabbi, I find it very hard to write it 30 times morning and evening because, I don't know, I'm just being lazy, or I have, wrist problem or something, then I would tell you to write it down 10 times. Write it down 10 times. But you got to do it consistently. There's no break. Don't tell me, it's a Sabbath, I'm going to rest. No, you're not resting. You're writing it on the Sabbath as well, morning and evening. You're writing it every day. The only time you take a rest or you stop is if you were traveling, you didn't have your notepad with you, and you can't do it while you're traveling, so that's okay. You missed a day because you were traveling. Or maybe, I don't know, heaven forbid that you became ill and you couldn't do it, and then yes, you can miss your one or 2 days, but you got to do it every day. Listen, when you go to the gym, when you decide to, build your six-pack or muscles, maybe you don't want to build a six-pack, maybe you just want to tone up your body. When you go to the gym, you go to the gym, 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe you go every day. But if you go every day, statistically, you're not supposed to train 7 days a week in a gym, because you got to give your muscles time to grow for that exercise to take effect. So if you go to the gym, I recommend to the people who go to the gym, because I also have a sports background as well. I recommend to the gym, to the people that you go to the gym 4 days a week and take 3 days off. So you go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You go 4 days a week and you take 3 days off. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is your off days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are your on days. So you can work a 4 minus 3 schedule. What that allows you to do is to put 4 days into the gym, working out different muscles, and 3 days for you to rest and to recuperate and to build those muscles. That works perfectly. So that's how you should work the gym. But in this case, because we are training our mind, we're training our consciousness. So we've got to keep telling ourselves, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm getting. So when you keep training, guess what happens? The Bible says, let me give you a simple analogy from the Bible. And there's a number of ways how we look at that analogy. And unfortunately, sometimes we look at things wrong. Why? Because, pastors and preachers who've been teaching us, they haven't really done a great job. And because they haven't done a great job, we get the wrong information. Sadly the case. Now, in Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6, Mishle 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go. It's not talking about beating up your son or daughter, okay? A lot of pastors out there teach that. Oh, this is talking about you disciplining your child. You got to beat him up. Sure, you can discipline your child, and maybe you should too. Discipline means through your mouth. And, the occasional slap on the wrist might be acceptable, but, it's not acceptable to beat up your child, black and blue with a stick or something, or just, hammer them with your hands. It's not allowed to. A child is a child. But what is it talking about? Is it talking about a child? Well, from a literal point of view, maybe, but maybe not. So there are two ways to look at it. You can look at the Torah in 70 ways. You can look at the Bible, I'd say, in 70 ways. So let's look at it the other way. Train up a child in the way he or she should go means what? Means what's your child? What's your child? Your child is your brain. Okay? You are the person, and your brain is the one that's going to do what you tell it to do. If you tell your hand to pick up a cup, what does your hand do? What does your brain do? It directs your hand to pick up a cup of glass, or a glass of water maybe. So it picks it up. Why? How did you do it? Because you trained it. So what are you training? You're training your subconscious. You're training your supermind. What are you telling your supermind, your subconscious? What are you telling it? You're training it when you're writing that down 10 times. That my income is $30,000 a month or more. Pick a figure what you like and write it down. My income is $60,000 a month. Brilliant. My income is $60,000 a month. You keep writing it. And who are you training? You're training your not your conscious mind, but your subconscious. You're training your subconscious or supermind. You're training your supermind. You're training it. Train a child in the way it should go. That is a child for you. That is actually what it's telling you to do. Train it. Train it. And how am I training it? By writing. I'm training it. And then my subconscious mind, my mind has a connection with God. It connects directly to the superpower. Which is a superpower? The high power above, God, who we call God. Elohim. Yudhe Wahe. Maybe some people, many people refer to God as Jesus. Okay, that's what they are taught. So they refer to him as Jesus. Many other people refer to God as Allah, and that's okay too. Because, in the Hebrew, from the Arabic, Allah can also mean God. It's a God's name, Allah. We do have it in the Hebrew as well. Allah means the one above. And therefore, there's nothing wrong with that. Not trying to confuse people with the wrong words. For us, for English-speaking people, God or the Almighty means the power above us, the one who created us, all, everybody that he created, including you, me, and everybody else. Black, brown, yellow, whatever colors he put in this world, he created them. Now you can call him God. In India, people call him Bhagwan. We have people calling him Khuda in the Urdu-speaking language, and then we have Rab. Is another word which comes from the Hebrew. Rav means means the greater or the bigger or the one, the greatest. So all these different words mean the same thing. So train a child in the way he should go or the way she should go. In the way she should go or he should go. Did you know that your subconscious is female? Did you know that? I'll leave it at that. So technically, there is a there's a marrying of the conscious to this unconscious. Subconscious. Unconscious means subconscious. There's a marriage. That marriage is male and female, by the way. So when you keep training it, what's going to happen? You're going to make a direct connection with God, and God is going to find the best and the fastest way to give you that $30,000 a month or more, whatever you've written, 60,000, 100,000, 200,000. There are people in the world earning 300,000, 400,000, even $500,000 a month. There are people who are earning that money. So it's not impossible. And you are no less. You are no less than them who are earning it. So if you ask for $30,000 a month, you're not asking for anything that the other people are not already doing. They're already doing it. So you have every right to make that money. God has given you many talents, and only you know what that talent that you have is. Some people, it might be singing. For some people, it might be technical. And for others, it might be mechanical. And everybody has different talents. You can use your talents to grow your wealth. You can make the money you desire using your talents. There's nothing wrong with that. Perfectly fine. Whether you do it through singing or mechanical or technical or some other way. So when Abraham was presented the opportunity, when Abraham was given the opportunity that he should leave his country, he took it. He said, okay, yeah, I'll go there. And God told him to leave, and he left. And we see that when Abraham, it says, he passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Moreh, and the Canaani were there in the land. So he came to a place, there was a tree that was known as the tree of the teachers. Moreh means to teach, teachers. So there was a tree there, and he found a teacher there, and he spoke to him. And it says that after that, he says, then, might say in your Bibles, God appeared to Abram and said, to your descendants I will give this land. And there he built an altar to Yudhe-Wahe who had appeared to him. Okay, so the fight today in Israel, this is funny, right? I'm saying that the fight today in Israel between the Palestinians and Israelis is about what? Who owns the land? Isn't it? Isn't that the fight about? Who owns the land? The Palestinians are saying it's my land, and Israelis and Jews are saying no, it's my land. My land, no my land. My land, no my land. So both of those people, here's the funny part. Both of those peoples connect to Father Abraham. They both connect to him. Okay? They're both the sons of Abraham. So is it right for both of them to take ownership of the land? Some might say yes, and some might say no. But here's the answer that the Bible gives. The Bible says no. The Bible says that certain portions, in other words, the Bible says that this portion of land belongs to who? It belongs to the sons of Jacob. Now, the Palestinians are called Arabs as well. They are not the sons of Jacob. Okay? They do not qualify to be the son of Jacob. And then you might say, well, the son of Jacob, but Jacob had 12 sons, right? So if Jacob had 12 sons, then what about Isaac? If Jacob was the son of Isaac, and Isaac had other sons, yes, he did. He had Esau. Esau was his son, and Esau is the man that produced his own progeny. But then through Jacob, but then we go past that, because that's not where we find the Arabs. We don't find the Arabs in Esau. Where do we find the Arabs? We have to go back. We have to go back to Abraham. Well, who were Abraham's wives? Abraham's wife was Sarah. She was one of the wives. Number 3, by the way. And who was number 1? Number 1 was Keturah. Keturah, who the rabbis wrongly called Hagar. She's not Hagar, by the way. Hagar is another wife of Abraham. Number 4. So, number 1 was Keturah, and she was the Arab. Okay? She was the daughter of Kahtan or Joktan. She was the daughter of Joktan. She was Abraham's wife, and she produced the Arab race. So yes, the Arabs are Abraham's children. But no, they did not inherit the land of Israel, but they did inherit the lands like Saudi Arabia, Yemen, the Middle East parts. They inherited a lot of land. They inherited a lot of land that they got for nothing, peanuts, because they lived there. They got it, but they were not spoken about having the land of Canaan. Canaan, as it was known anciently, was given to the sons of Jacob. He's the one God spoke about it and said, "This belongs to you. It belongs to Isaac's son. That will be the promised son." Even the Muslims know, and Muslims might not be so educated about knowing that who is a promised son. They might be wrongly taught that the promised son is Ishmael. It's not Ishmael, by the way. Knowledgeable Muslims know that the promised son was Isaac, and it's also mentioned in the Holy Quran that it was Isaac. So, the thing is this, that the Holy Bible, on the other hand, says that the only promised son that was called the promised son, for that you have to go to the Torah, is who? Who's the promised son? Isaac. Okay? So if Isaac is a promised son, that means his sons, which sons does he have? Well, he has Esau and he has Jacob. So who's the one he gave the blessing to? He gave the blessing to Jacob. Yeah, he gave the blessing to Jacob. And Jacob's the one who gets the land. So his sons, the 12 tribes, get the land. And here we are. Here we are today in 2023 fighting over who the land belongs to. Okay? So that's kind of funny, isn't it? Anyway, that's where we are. So that kind of gives you a little bit synopsis. And if you want to know more, get the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls Bible, purchase it, spend some money and spend some time learning things, understanding and learning the ways of God. It will help you. It will help you tremendously. The KJV might be a good reading. NIV might be something that you read and you like, and it's okay. You can use those. But if you really want understanding, if you really want to progress, and you really want to, know who God is, you got to come out of the KJV. You got to come out of the NIV, because they are not going to give you the explanation of who God is, and they're not even going to be translated correctly all the way to explain what thing means what. That you're going to get that in the Hidden Truths Hebraic Scrolls, by the way. Yeah, you spend $85, $90, whatever it is now, in Amazon. Whatever the price is, still much less than most Bibles out there. They're selling for $150. I mean, the price hasn't shifted on this Bible for the last, my goodness, 8 years. The price hasn't shifted. Still the same price. So what does that tell you? It's not about making money from selling Bibles. It's about giving people the truth. So if you want the truth, spend $100 on yourself and you get the truth. It's no big deal. You go to a restaurant today and you're going to pay $100 bill with your family to eat. One meal. One good meal you pay to the restaurant, it'll be $100. Maybe you go to a steakhouse, you take your wife, your kids, you all get a steak, you get some drinks, get some, fries and whatnot, and you turn around and the bill is like $100, sir. And you pay $100 or more, and you eat your steak. So is that the cost of the Bible? Come on, you tell me that you can't pay $100 for the Bible, then you shouldn't be here. Then just go away and do your own thing, and go and suffer like the rest of the people in the world. You shouldn't be here. If you're here to study, you need to spend some money on yourself to better your life. What I'm teaching you, no teacher out there is teaching you. What I'm giving you here today, no teacher on this planet is giving you. No rabbi on this planet is giving you this information. Why should they give you? They want you to be slaves. I don't want you to be slaves. I want you to prosper. I want your families to be happy. I want you to be happy. I want your families to be happy. I want you to prosper, and I want you to stand up one day and say, you know what, I found a right teacher. I found a man who taught me the right things. And he wasn't, chasing me for, buy my books, buy my books. I don't tell you to go buy my books. I'm just simply saying to you to get the Bible so that you can learn better. That one item you're going to have to spend money on, and including the Siddur. Yeah, there is a Forever-Israel Siddur as well. You're going to have to spend money on that to learn how to pray, to learn what to pray every day. Those two items you're going to have to do. But they are not to enrich me. You're not enriching me. Yeah, Amazon is collecting most of the money. They're collecting most of the money. Maybe you're enriching Amazon, but hey, at the end of the day, you're going to get something out of it as well. So yeah, get something out of it. Make something that helps your families. It will help you, so why not? Get it so you can help your families. And I'm all for that, for your family to prosper. So, coming back to Abraham, the decision is to believe God. Well, who is the one who sits under God and guides you? The priesthood. Who is the priesthood? The people from the Levite clan. And who's Levite clan? One sitting in front of you right now. One you're listening to. Levite clan. A son of Aaron. With documented proof. In the country of Pakistan. I have my forefathers here, and I know where we came from. We came from the Persian Empire. And I know who my forefathers are. I know their names right down to the tick. So I don't need to go around flashing a certificate in front of your face. I can just call out the rain. I can just lift my hand and call out rain. I can lift my hand and call out sunshine. I can lift my hand and call somebody's healing. That's the power I have. And I can even have the power to kill somebody by lifting my hand and bring somebody's demise. I could do that too. But the point is this, that I don't need to flash a certificate in your face and say, hey, look, it says that my forefathers is. No, that's total baloney, bull sugar. That's all that is. I'm not here to give you, let me do a DNA test. Forget your DNA tests. I know who my forefathers are. I don't need no DNA tests either. I sit over here right in the midst of the tribe of Benjamin. They're right here where I am. All of them. I sat with them 2 days ago. I was eating with them. But they know who they are. They know their tribe of Benjamin. But they don't call themselves, they call themselves by a different name, different clans, and even different religion. It doesn't matter. So what? They believe in the God of Abraham. If they believe in the God of Abraham, I can sup with them. I can eat with them. And I can still have great time. Baruch Hashem. I'm highly privileged. I'm chosen. I am great. Baruch Hashem. And so are you. And you got to tell yourself that. Your wife may not be telling you that. Your mom may not be telling you that. Your dad may not be telling you that. They may be cursing you down. But you're great. You're chosen. You're number one. You're special. Who's going to tell you that? I'm telling you that you're special. I'm telling you you're chosen. You are chosen. You're great. You're special. And you need to tell yourself. So you can lift yourself out of this quagmire. You must do that. If there's nobody else to do that, you must do that. Listen, I heard this testimony from a man. He said that when he was young, he was traveling in a car, 35 years ago, 40 years ago. And he said that his mother said to him, son, do not switch the light on in the cabin of the car. If you do, the policeman will stop the car and arrest you and put you in prison. He was a young kid, maybe 5 years old, maybe 6 years old, whatever age he was then. Kids are very impressionable. It was so impressionable, that comment that the mom made, wrong comment by the way, but he carried that comment to his adulthood. He said that, when I became an adult, I was afraid to switch the light on in my cabin, that the policeman might arrest me, because my mom told me that. But it wasn't true. So a lie was ingrained and fitted into the man's brain. But I don't want to fit a lie in your brain. I want to fit a truth into your brain. So you tell your children who are 4 years old, 5 years old, you tell them, you are great, you are special, you are wonderful, you are here to experience the best in the earth that God can offer us. You are to tell your children that, so that the children will grow up carrying that in their head. They won't grow up thinking about, I can't switch the light on in the cabin because a policeman will arrest me. No, that's a wrong thing to teach. Cursing down your children is a wrong thing to do. So teach a child in the way he should go. That child is both physical, your child, and that child is both spiritual, your brain. Teach it the way it should act. Teach it the way it should go. And yes, it will go there. Last week, it was pretty hot over here, and I said to my wife, I'm going to bring some cooler weather. And what I did, I raised my hand, and I said, cooler weather come. And guess what? One day later, it started to become real cool, and it really cooled down. Nights became real cold. and I said to my wife, "Shall I bring some wind?" And my wife said, "No, don't bring any wind. Just cooler weather is fine." So yes, I have the power to do that, and sometimes I exercise it. I exercise it when you get hot weather. I exercise it. If I want to bring rain, I can bring rain. I exercise that power. For that, I don't need certificates. I don't need a certificate to prove I'm a Kohen or not. See, this kind of talk I've left in America with the so-called black Israelite baloney, out there. I don't believe in that. I don't teach that. I don't follow that. Me, I'm 1 in a billion. I'm a 1 in a billion person. I'm very special. And God has given me special powers. And I use them for special purposes. When you're given power like that, you control it. And you use it when you need to. And I can't tell you all the stories. I can't tell you what I do in private. What kind of things I do and what kind of things I have done. I can't tell you those because they're not for you to know. But I have done things that for many, many years, when I lived in the UK, from my childhood to my adulthood, I didn't do anything there. I just didn't use my powers. Just didn't care. I don't care what happened anywhere. I didn't use my powers. But when I left for America, I decided that now it's time to start using my powers. Now start using my powers. Not only to use my powers to bring rain, that's just one thing. I use my power to change presidents. I decide who's going to be the president of which country. And people may laugh at that. I said to some people here, Pakistan, I said to them that I'm going to remove your prime minister. And they're like, what? I said, yeah, I'm going to remove your prime minister. He's going to go. And guess what happened? 2 months later, that prime minister's gone. I decide who's going to become the prime minister. I will decide who becomes the president in America. You think that you're going to vote for the president? You keep thinking that. Because for you, it look like you voted for him. But you don't know I was the one who brought him. So I can decide that. Now, I'm not saying that I am going to do it, but I'm saying that I have the authority and I have the power to decide who will become the next president in America even. And it will look like to you that you all voted for him. Or maybe you didn't vote for him. I don't care whether you vote for him or not. If I decide, he comes to power. Period. But if I don't take any part, if I'm like, I don't really care who comes to power, then sure, I don't do it. Somebody said to me over here, they named a person that he's the most powerful person in this country. I said, really? I said, okay. Well, he's going down. The most powerful person in this country is going down. And they don't understand that. Because they don't know the most powerful person is sitting in front of their face. They don't know that. That's how powerful is. So at the end of the day, it's not about showing certificates and things. What God has given you is a gift to you. I am gifted. God has given me all these gifts to use. I use them for the good of the people. I use them for the benefit of the people. That's what I do. I use my gifts for the good. I don't use them for evil or to inflict, violence on people or damage. I don't use those for that purpose. I use my gifts for good. Heal people, give them, somebody, wants to have a better job, sure. Somebody wants to earn a higher salary, sure. Always a yes. Always a yes. Somebody wants to get healing, it's a yes. So my gifts are for the good of the planet, or for good of the people, the good of our people. And Baruch Hashem, that I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful that God has given me those gifts to use for the best of the people. And where there are evil people, then I know how to use my gifts to bring them down to the ground as well. I know how to do that too. So moving on, so what is important? Now let me recap. What's important is for you to make a decision. What do you want to earn? Because you look, everything is rooted in money. Come on, let's be honest about it. Let's not play around the bush. When we serve God, God blesses us materially. He blesses us materially, okay? Because everything is rooted in money. If my wife wanted a piece of a clothes, dress, if my wife wants a dress, where's it going to come from? From money. Okay? It's going to come from money. So I have to give her some money to buy the dress. If my wife wants a phone, iPhone or something, I have to find money to buy that iPhone for her. So otherwise I'm going to have a problem in the home. Meaning that you're not necessarily my wife, but everybody else's wife. They're going to have a problem with their wives. They say, oh, honey, get me iPhone 15, And then you can't get an iPhone 15 because you don't have the money. What's going to happen? She's going to constantly, tell you to do so. And you're going to create a hostile environment in the house. You're going to say, I'm sorry, honey, I don't have the money. And when I have it, I'll buy you. So money, listen. Stop listening to the bullwhack out there, to the bull sugar out there that you keep listening to. Stop listening to it. Everything is driven by money. Money can solve 99.99% of your problems. Money can solve it. And the 0.1% is what prayer solves it. Prayer solves the 0.1%. The 99.99 is solved by money. You want to get better treatment. Money solves it. You want to get better clothes, money solves it. You want to get iPhone, money solves it. You want to get a laptop, money solves it. You want to get a house, money solves it. So, but behind money, definitely there is prayer, there's petition, definitely. But what I'm saying is that your 99.99% problems are derived from lack of, and they are solved by having plenty of what? Money, dollars, pounds, euros, or whatever currency you're in. So stop believing the baloney, stop eating the noodles out there, listening to the foolish people that keep saying, money can't buy love and money can't buy happiness. Come on, that's bull sugar. Total bull sugar. Money can even buy happiness and money can buy love too. How many women are willing to marry you if you have money? Ask yourself that question. How many women, how many girls are willing to marry you if you had money, and how many girls will not marry you if you don't have money? That's a question you should be asking. And I'm pretty sure what the answer is going to be. I can tell you that right now. There'll be 10 girls lining up to marry you if you have money, and there'll be 0 girls lining up to marry you if you have no money. They'll be like, this guy is broke. What's he going to feed me? How's he going to house me? I don't want to marry a broke. And girl's gone. That's the reality. So this lecture is about reality. I'm not here to teach you religion. For religion, you go to church. But for reality, you come to Torah. Torah is reality, my friends. Torah is reality. Torah is life. But you got to learn it. You got to practice it. I give you the tools and techniques. Why do I give you the tools and techniques? So you can better your life. You can better your family's life. You can get the things they desire. Is their right? We have all come into this planet to experience the good that God has given us. We're not come over here to suffer. We're not coming here to suffer and to, I'm going to carry my cross and I'm going to climb that mountain on my knees. We're not come here for that. I'm sorry. I didn't come here to carry some cross and suffer. Maybe other people did, not me. I didn't. I come here to carry my Torah and put it to my chest and love it. That's what I come here for. And to bless myself through the Torah. Bless myself through the King of Kings who gave the Torah. That's what I come for. Total different scenario, isn't it? Total different from carrying a piece of wood. No, I don't want to carry a piece of wood. Thank you. No, thank you. Keep it to yourself. You carry it. So, that's where we are. So, remember my $3 million exercise? What did I give you on the $3 million exercise? I told you that you have, every night you go to bed, after you've done your writing, after you've done your desires writing, whether it's 1 desire or 3 desires, you wrote it, you're happy, you're going to go to bed. Now you say that you have $3 million. You're going to imagine you have $3 million cash already in your bank. And now you want to spend it. What do you want to buy? I think I'll get an iPhone 15. I think I'll get a new laptop. I think I will get a new car. I think I will buy myself a house. And maybe that house, maybe I'll buy it in whatever, area of the country you like. So you're going to shop. You're going to go shopping. And then you're going to say, okay, I think I've spent $500,000 or $1 million I've spent on, extra things that probably some of them you didn't need, but now you got $2 million left. Now you're going to say, okay, I'm going to use that $2 million. I'm going to invest it. and I want to make a return of between $5,000 and $10,000 a month, so I'm going to invest that money. Sure, you go ahead and invest it. Easy, isn't it? I had somebody that I know. He offered me. He said, invest $3,000 in an account in America in one of the companies, and he said that he's a trader. He's both a student and a trader. He studies and he trades. So he trades the markets. He trades in different stocks and currencies and indexes. So no, not index. Not in currencies. He trades in indexes and he trades in stocks. So, and he showed me a statement. He's making some serious money. The statement he showed me of his trading account, making very serious money, 100,000 plus figure. And he said to me, listen, Sam, he said, you invest $3,000. Ideally you should invest $10,000. But let's say you don't have the 10, you invest 3,000. He said, I will link my account, my trading account with yours. You don't have to do nothing. He said, you don't have to do nothing. You just have to I will do the trading, and I will also copy trade into your account, and whatever I make, you will make a portion of that, whatever that portion is. If he's putting in a big trade in Tesla or some other product, some other stock, and he ends up making $30,000 in it, then maybe my account will only make maybe $300 or maybe $50. I don't know. But he basically offered me that he can do that. So if any of you are interested in that kind of trading, that way you don't have to trade, somebody else will do the trading, somebody else who is honest and American and lives in America is honest, I can tell you that, then sure, I can, that's something that I can assist you with. If you want to do that, contact me, inbox me, and we can talk about it. And so that's what I was offered. And I obviously haven't taken up his offer. I said, give me some time to think about it and I'll let you know. So that's where I am with that. So if you have money sitting in the bank and it's not giving you no returns, maybe not even 1%, and if this man is willing to go along and earn better money on it, and you just go to open the account and just leave it, and he just copy trades and he puts the copy trade in there, and there are a number of ways to do that. So means that I can do it for you, or you can do it directly through him. I can connect you with him as well, or I can just remain connected with him because I've got a relationship with him going on past, and I can just simply do it that way. And I don't know, don't ask me how many percentages, because I don't know. He didn't give me a percent of how many percent I'll make a month. But he just simply said to me, this you can make a start with that. So, the account he asked me to open is with a professional broker. It's not with these dodgy brokers. It's with a professional broker in America that deals with those kind of things, those kind of stocks and stuff. Anyway, that's that talk. So moving on, and like I said, that you're going to do the $3 million imagination. You're going to imagine that you're spending it, and also you're going to invest part of that money to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month return. That's your job every night. I want you to continue to do that, and I want you to continue to do the writing of your affirmation that you have decided on what you desire to earn a month. And maybe for some of you, it may not be the money, it might be health, and that's okay. You can ask for great health, and you will get it. What about if you wanted a great relationship? Sure, ask for a great relationship and you will get it. So maybe you mix and match. You're asking for great health. I am healthy and whole. It's a great affirmation. Then you're asking for great relationships. I have great relationships with my family or with everyone. I have great relations with everyone. And then you ask for the money that, I am receiving $30,000 a month. Every month. Full stop. How hard is that? Did you have to go somewhere? Did you have to leave your country like Abraham? Did you have to sell everything that belonged to you? No, none of that. I'm asking you something so simple that if you can't do that, then I don't know what you can do. It's so simple. I'm asking you to put some blood and sweat in it. Put your pen to the paper. That's all I'm asking you. I'm not asking you to give me your house. I'm not asking you to sell your house for me. I'm not asking you to sell your car for me and give me the money. I'm not asking any of those things. I'm simply telling you to just do that for your benefit, for your blessing, so that God may bless you. And when God blesses you and you receive that blessing, then you can send 10% tithes, 10% of the car to God. Is that hard to do? Not very hard. If you're committed, if you're honest, if you're ready to follow that life, then you will do it, and you will be that person. You will be that person who's successful, who earns the right money. And I've given my students, and I haven't given everybody because I don't have everybody's email, and it's hard to send everybody an email, with the content meaning like a recording. But I could try using my FTP account. If you want to have a recording that I made, that's something you do every day. It's a tool, it's an exercise of tapping that I want you to do every day, morning and evening. If you want to have it, then inbox me to my email address, shimon63@yahoo.com, and then I will be able to send you that link so that you may use that exercise. But I want you to only do it if you're serious. I don't want people out there wasting time. Oh, let me try it if it works. I don't want those kind of people. No, it works. You hear it from my mouth, it works. So if you want it, then you write to me. It's free of charge, and I can send it to you. That's all I can do for you. Other than that, have a wonderful Shabbat. Have a wonderful next week, and have wonderful, wonderful time with your families. We thank you for listening, and I bless the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I bless the time that He's given us to spend together, and I'm so grateful that for those of my students who God is blessing tremendously, and those who have been following me diligently, you are going to get, and you are already getting great blessings through the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're going to continually be blessed. You're going to continually be blessed. Hear it from me, and your life's going to go from up and up and up. Baruch Hashem. Have a wonderful time. Shalom, shalom.